Hello there, MegaMogwai here, and I got another Legends of Runeterra video for you guys today. Even today, in which I fucked up my back. So basically, I'm doing strength training, and I was deadlifting this morning. I've been doing strength training for a while, actually. I used to do it much more when I was a bit younger, and I'm trying to get back into it so I can get back to a proper shape to, you know, grapple and such again. And, you know, in case you guys don't know, I used to be a very like active Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. Like I would compete a lot. I competed in MMA as well, and that was a big portion of my life during my early 20s. And now that I'm 30, I'm kind of like trying to get back into it a little bit, you know, just to not, because this whole YouTube gig is very sedentary, and before you know it, you can start getting a lot of weight and your body can just get really soft, and I want to try to avoid that, right? So I've been getting back into strength training, but I guess I'm not a young man anymore, and I popped my lower back today doing deadlifts. It was a pretty intense session. Maybe I overdid it, honestly. And yeah, I don't know. I blame the anime soundtrack music I listen to. It gets me really hyped up. Plus Ultra. And yeah, I popped my back. Like I heard like 2 loud pops, and my back just like hurt like crazy. And yeah, during the last repetition too, which really sucks because that was like my last rep of deadlift for the day. And yeah, I hurt myself a lot, so just felt like sharing with you guys, I guess, because it affects how I sit, how I move. So in case you guys see me in weird postures or, you know, making some weird faces every now and then, it's because of that. And yeah, I guess I told you a little bit of about my life today. So let's actually hop onto the deck, which is what you guys are interested in, because no back injury is going to stop me from playing this sweet ass game and talking about my new favorite deck. I know I say this a lot. I'm gonna get a lot of shit in the comments. Miguel, every time you upload a video, you're like, this is my favorite deck. And that is not entirely true. I like the decks that I showcase here naturally. That's why I share them. And I've been a big fan of a lot of the most recent ones. Basically all of them, really. I enjoy them for their own reasons, but I have a special place in my heart for HEIMERDINGER. HEIMERDINGER is my favorite champion, bar none, in Legends of Runeterra, and this is a mid-range, Piltover with a bit of Noxus approach at HEIMERDINGER with none other than Draven himself. I was able to craft this awesome champion yesterday as I did some expeditions on stream, and I also racked up some shards, and I was able to get a full set of Draven and build this bad boy. This deck is, like I said, my new favorite deck. It even surpasses 4 million IQ HEIMERDINGER control in my, you know, favorite list. And I gotta give a big shout outs to Josh, aka Raptor, an MTG Hall of Famer, who is the man who originally designed this deck. I have tweaked it a little bit for my own preferences, but the original deck idea is his, and credits, and my hat tips off to you, because this deck is just, honestly, it's a thing of beauty. So let's talk about it. Why are we mixing Draven and HEIMERDINGER in a mid-range deck? Initially, that doesn't really make much sense now, does it? Well, the idea is Draven actually contributes quite a bit to a mid-range, sort of like low-cost spell spam tactic that we have going on here, in which we generate a bunch of very, very cheap spells through the likes of Draven, or, for example, the Chumpwump, also the Sump Snipe Scavenger, amongst others, to later down the line recycle them with Rummage and actually get a very powerful 1-mana draw 2 card burst effect, and overwhelm our opponents with card advantage. So cycle through our deck, generate a bunch of low-cost spells, use these spells to cycle through our deck, and get some tremendous value out of the equation. So the idea is that we have Astute Academic as our 1-drop of choice, as we have quite a few ways of drawing cards with this deck. So she will gain +1 attack for the round every time we draw a card, barring the first turn you play her. From that point onward, she is going to be at the very least a 2/2, which is a really solid stat line for a 1-drop. It's pretty much the vanilla stat line for it, and she can only go on from there. And one of the things that I really like about the Academic is that we can surprise Rummage the opponent as they're attacking us with fearsome units, as we can get Astute Academic's attack over 3, and thus trade into Elise, Wraith Callers, Fearsome Spiders, etc. And that really does come into play. I've even traded her favorably against the likes of Rasa without my opponent seeing it coming, which is really cool. We have the Chempunk Pickpocket, a really solid 2-drop that, generally speaking, is just a great, like, right now, 3-2 stat line for 2 is fantastic because there's a lot of fearsome in the ladder, right? So a 2-drop with 3 attack is really key. 2 health is also very important because it means it doesn't die to Vile Feast, like, for example, the Archer does. But on top of that, this thing is an absolute menace for the opponent because if we do manage to strike the Nexus with Pickpocket here, we're going to be able to create a random spell from the enemy's deck. And that just gives us more value to look forward to. So this is a very overlooked 2-drop that I have been absolutely loving in this deck. Like I said, on turn 3 we have Draven. When we play Draven, we are able to generate a spinning axe. Whenever we strike with Draven, we are generating more and more spinning axes. We are also playing a full set of Whirling Death. Those are our Noxus cards, by the way. 3 copies of Draven, 3 copies of Whirling Death. Excellent source of removal that also has tremendous synergy with Draven, as our battling ally that we target is going to strike a battling enemy. So this counts as Draven striking, which means generating a spinning axe. And if we give him a spinning axe prior, we can actually proceed to, get him to level up quicker. And if we level up Draven, we're generating 2 spinning axes every time we strike with him, and we also gain Overwhelm, which is really key too. And in this video, you're going to see Draven really shine in this sort of archetype, as we have Get Excited and Flash of Brilliance as a full set as well to support Heimerdinger more than anything. Flash of Brilliance with Heimerdinger is basically a free 3-mana turret, which is the best turret Heimerdinger makes because it has elusive, and on top of that, it's also a great way to get some spell cast going on so that we can easily have a very low cost Plaza Guardian threatening our opponent in the late game. Also a very, very powerful, very overlooked card from Piltover and Zon. We're showcasing a lot of Piltover cards here, naturally, considering the structure of our deck. And there's a lot of neat cards that a lot of people have overlooked, including myself, considering this is my favorite region, as the Sumsnipe Scavenger, which is actually one of our prime win conditions. With Allegiance, which we are very likely to hit, we can create a map that grants our ally elusive, and it's initially 0 mana when we originally create it. And we can give this map to our T-Hex, generated by Heimerdinger right here, or any other big boy creature like the Plaza Guardian as well, to eventually finish off the opponents. We are basically a mid-range deck that has a bit of a slow start building up value, and then we aim to finish off the opponent with big boy elusives, bypassing our opponent's defenses. On top of that, we have a one-off of Jay Medarda. This is a really cool inclusion to the deck, as Jay Medarda synergizes really well with Whirling Death and also with Draven's Axes, as we're able to target him and thus draw a card every time we do so. So in the late game, this could be a really solid threat. You know, an 8-mana 6/6 with elusive is a good late game unit that can finish off the game. And also, Jay Medarda, you know, once we build up all these axes and we're not really using them, we can play Jay and just start spamming them on and turn these axes into actual card draw, which is really, really cool. And that is the deck list right there. This deck is just... it's just a blast to play, man. It's my favorite deck right now. I've been playing it all day, yesterday and today, getting better and better at it. I went to record some games in which I piloted this deck correctly, because it took me a while to actually play Draven properly, because I did lack experience with this champion, and he's not super intuitive at first. But once you get the hang of it, Draven is fun as hell, man. All these spinning axes. The animation is really sick too, and you guys are gonna see what I'm talking about with Draven in this deck, man. This deck is the tits. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you think about the games. Try it out. You will not be disappointed. I have been doing really well with this deck list in high Masters rank, so it is proven against the top tier decks, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So without further ado, have a solid day. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra videos. I'll see you guys around. Right, here we go. And right off the bat, we have a matchup against what many consider to be the top tier deck in the meta. My audio is a little bit loud on my end, by the way. Gonna tweak it a little bit. So Shadow Owls and Ionia with Elise plus Hecarim is a package that a lot of you are pretty much used to seeing in ranked at this point, I would assume. So we have a pretty solid opening hand here, except for our boy Jay Medarda. It's a little bit too early for him. I like this you know, pretty simple curve. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Very good indeed. We're going to lead off with the Astute Academic and then drop the Pickpocket. I have trouble pronouncing this guy.
Don't worry, I've read all about this.
So one of the things here is we could just go for 2 damage directly, but there is always a chance that my opponent doesn't have a 2-drop play. So we're going to drop the Pickpocket in hopes of being able to connect with these 2. That would be absolutely that would be incredible for us if we were able to hit him for 5 and also trigger the Nexus Strike. It's very unlikely, but worst case scenario, my opponent drops a 2-drop and we force the trade on it. Even though we would like to get the Nexus Strike going on, we have to respect this because next turn they could drop a Skitterer, which would lower the attack of my Pickpocket and thus take away my ability to block this, and we could take a pretty big hit from them. So we're gonna go ahead and attack and offer the trade. I doubt he won't take it. That's one of the great things about the Pickpocket. You know, his effect is amazing, right? It also forces the opponent to throw away their early units onto it as well, which is really neat.
I pull the strings.
Alright, there's Lise. Well, it's Draven time.
I have the best job.
I concur. I love my job. I love it. And I love you, Draven. Draven serves as a fantastic blocker here. I would assume we are about to witness a Mark of the Isles, which I am okay with, because that is a 2-for-1 trade in our favor. Or a... okay, so... Vile Feast. Again, still a 2-for-1 trade for us, as we are packing up these axes as well. This is really key with Draven. Or, that's even better. Holy crap. He doesn't even get a blocker out of that. That's fantastic for us. Next turn he's going to be at 4 mana, which means no matter what he play, it won't be able to block Draven. Not even a Mistwraith can do it. So we're going to go ahead and drop him. We could also just play the Chump Wump, but because it is our turn to attack, we'd rather just play Draven.
The party
Has arrived. Get that axe in there. And ready ourselves for a nice clean hit. And honestly, I'm going to go ahead... not only push for a little bit of extra damage, but also get one step closer to leveling up Draven. Very important. Because once we level him up, the big thing about leveled up Draven is not the overwhelm, it's the fact that we get 2 spinning axes every time he strikes, which is absolutely fantastic. Keep in mind, Draven's ability works really well with Whirling Death as we are striking with him. As our opponent drops a Mistwraith, which is not really going to do much on its own. Now, I have a bit of a predicament here. I could just play the Chump Wump as a blocker. I think I like that. I lose the ability to use Whirling Death, but I can't really see anything that my opponent would play here that would really force me to go for this so early on.
I got ways to find me mushrooms.
Or I get some more mushrooms in his belly. What could this be? Not really anything I could have done to avoid that, so we're just gonna let it happen. We're not gonna rush to draw into with the Astute Academic. We always have to keep in mind the amount of cards that we have in our hand. By the way, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 cards, which means we're the maximum is 10. By the way, so keep that in mind always when playing this deck. We see a Vile Feast. That does make me a little bit sad because we could have been able to get a pretty big hit with the Academic next turn. But it is what it is. That does generate a blocker from him as well. We're not in a rush to draw. We may as well float this mana. First, see what else we draw here before we make a decision. We don't have any plays besides this, so now we're going to go for it. We're going to go for the Rummage. Because of the burst speed, we will not give away initiative to the opponent. There's Jay. There's Jay. We're going to go ahead and attack directly. Let's boogie. Once our opponent declares a blocker, then we can go for the axe swing here. And potentially level up Draven. And Jay is a very nice unit to have at this stage of the game. A couple of turns from now, we will be able to play him. And if we have spell backup, we can combine him with the Axe and the Whirling Death to draw cards off of him. As we see our opponent blocking there. Mark of the Owls. Okay. Well. Let's go ahead and... we're going to discard the Academic, actually. We're going to give Draven an Axe. And now we are going to counter this Glimpse Beyond with our Whirling Death, which not only will prevent the card draw here, but also will level up our Draven. As we strike with this card, we'll also be getting an Axe as well, which means we keep the fuel going. Beautiful! Beautiful.
What's my name?
Draven! 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 Alright. And the overwhelm! The overwhelm! Look at all those axes, son! I forgot about the overwhelm, to be honest. That's so fucking sick! Oh, because we get overwhelmed when we level up, we actually get 5 damage onto our opponent there. They can't Rasa us. They can spear, I guess. Yeah, that is an option. But he needs that plus a Vile Feast. We're at 8 cards in our hand, which means we're good. We're good, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck yeah. Nice way to start things off, like showcasing the power of Draven here. Alright. So I could actually sneak this in alongside you if I play one of my axes here. And I think I'm going to do that. I could also just do it with a let's go Flash of Brilliance first, because we could get something. Okay, that's neat. That is neat. I do want to play one of these axes though. Just to no, because we can still play that and we're still good, yeah.
What are you waiting for?
Oh, come on, Draven. Don't be an asshole. Gotta think. They're gonna heal up to 7.
My beautiful face.
But we're gonna go ahead and drop the Pickpocket.
You name it, I'll nick it.
And then we're getting the Plaza Guardian in there. Beautiful. We don't have to waste our axes. These are card draw with Jay Medarda here. So in case we don't kill him next turn with an all-out attack, which we do, we got Jay Medarda there with double axe, or he prevents you even more, and we can just start drawing through our deck using those free axes as card draw. That was a nice first game. All right, so we're facing Shadow Isles, but with Piltover and Zon. So we see like a very standard, combination of champions here. With Elise and Hecarim, but with Piltover instead of Ionia. Now this can mean that they're actually splashing progress there. A lot of them like to do that. As the deck is mostly Shadow Owls, but with progress they for late game draw, which makes them really threatening, even though we don't have to worry about deny. Right here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually replace everything except for Draven, as we try to lower our curve a little bit so we can answer the likes of Elise, as Jay just, wants to shine, man. He just keeps coming back to my hand. Alright, we do draw into the Academic. I actually don't know if I want to play this now, though, because my opponent could drop an Elise, so I'd rather be able to get excited and remove it. Not sure I want to use my get excited on that, though. I'm gonna pass here. I can take the 3 damage. I want to float my mana. See if I have like a better target to go for. Like that.
I have the best job.
We go with Draven here. We have to watch out for Mark of the Isles. Unfortunately, whenever I worry about this card, they always have it. We're going to try to mitigate as much damage as possible. So we're going to do this. We're gonna equip you. And we're gonna Whirling Death here, because this will enable me to level up, potentially level up Draven next turn. Mark of the Owls is the one thing that stops this. Alright. They don't always have it! They almost always, but they don't have it. So Draven becoming an absolute threat right here, as we have another axe. And I mean, Joe's nice. Joe is nice, but I really do want to level up Draven here, I believe.
What are you waiting for?
I'm thinking, buddy. I can actually drop the Get Excited here, I think, or maybe even the Plaza Guardian. I mean, these are good. This is reliable. There's also, all these are reliable, really.
Axes coming right up.
J or Plaza. I'm gonna discard J. I could regret it, but I feel like I have. I feel like all of my other cards are just more useful here. We're going to threaten our opponent. Things that can stop, ways that can stop this. Grasp of the Undying. Not sure what combination of cards. Oh, they are playing Piltover and Zon with. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, dude.
Draven out.
All right, Draven out. Well, I was really banking on the maybe I was a little bit too aggressive there, honestly. But a level up with Draven would have meant really good things. I honestly, come on, like, what are the odds of them having the combination of this? That's the thing. I'm facing Shadow Owls, but Piltover and Zon really does make things a bit difficult here. I'm gonna keep this map in my hand as a potential sack outlet here. There's our own Mystic Shot. That's really unfortunate, because if we leveled up with Draven, we would have gotten 2 axes out of him, which means we would have been able to use those to rummage and, you know, cycle through our deck and keep our hand size pretty relevant. But now things change. We're gonna pass here. We can always Mystic Shot the Mistwraith. All right, we can trade into that one. Mark of the Owls could still be a thing. But I believe what I have to do this turn is pretty straightforward. I have to go for Mystic Shot on this and Get Excited on one of these and just clear a good portion of his board. I'm going to run very low on cards, though. I will trade that into that. And I will eliminate this. I mean, this is a solid win condition with Plaza Guardian, but I feel like right now it's more about staying alive, mitigating damage. Denying the damage as we continue to ramp up a bit and hopefully find what we need to find. Heimerdinger is neat, but it's not really what I'm looking for here. That's a heavy attack. I don't want to play into a Black Spear here, so I'm going to pass. I do have a Mystic Shot to shoot down one of these raids. I just gotta hope for some refueling. I need like Progress Days, stuff like that. I need cards that will enable me to draw here. I may just discard this. I don't want to play the Astute Academic here. Like, that's one of the fodders that I'll be looking for. I need a Progress Day. I need a Progress Day really bad.
Come closer. I don't bite.
I think I just play the Guardian here, if that's how he wants to do it. I'll play the Plaza Guardian, a 6/6 blocker.
Skitter out from the darkness.
I do want to kill Elise here and shoot down one of these. Mitigate the damage as much as possible. The turret that I get turret that I get from this.
So young.
I can... The
answer is here, somewhere.
I mean, those are the kind of draws I want.
Dimensions don't determine themselves. Just when I needed assistance.
I can play the wrench bot, and yeah, that's the kind of stuff I want. I want Progress Day. Progress Day on his behalf? Okay, a spear. That's fine. That's to be expected. We have another Heimerdinger here. We have to see if we can come back from this. We took a lot of damage early on, and I'm just afraid because of the Piltover splash my opponent has. I'm very concerned about him having his own Progress Day. You know, not counting the obvious threats such as Rasa and of course Hecarim, amongst many other things. I want to play Heimerdinger here.
Entropy, a never-ending cycle.
Hopefully my opponent doesn't have a way to really proactively...
Return to us.
That's fucked. May as well aim to get a hit here. Even though... Okay. We lower one of his threats there, right? It's not really relevant because he can attack, but now's when we want to go for Progress Day and do as best as we can to survive here. As you know, we're getting attacked by a lot. We could jump block the 4-4 here. We could jump block the 4-3 with this, but he's still looking to deal massive damage. So that's where this this Progress Day comes in. We have 12 mana, which means we have a spare 4 mana. And we can get some good stuff out of that. And if our opponent actually tries to develop something here, I mean, nonetheless, this is a rough state. My opponent has a very greedy variant of Shadow Isles with like rekindlers and a lot of very, very heavy late game stuff.
What a celebration! Back to work.
Let's discard you. Is there anything? No. Discard you and you.
Anticipated outcome.
That's 4-6, which means we survive. We need to take this approach. It's all about survival here. Mark of the Owls is a potential way for him to fish for lethal, but that's why we want to hold on to our get excited. Alright. Play you first.
Fine, just 1.21 gigahertz.
As we want to play around a Rasa, which is very likely to go down here.
Now you've gone and upset it.
Okay, because we see no Rasa, because we see, I mean, we see no like if he had Rasa, he would play it now immediately, because otherwise he's risking me just developing another 1/1 and bypassing it. So it would make no sense for him to do that. So what we're going to do now is, I mean, honestly, it's not an easy.
Don't determine themselves.
Not an easy decision here. I guess just dropping you for the time being.
It works. Oh, it works.
I could have played around Rasa, but like I said, if he had Rasa, unless he's just like, you know, not a good player, he would, yeah. If he had Rasa, he would have dropped it immediately. Let's see. I think we could just drop you and just, because I don't have any good targets for that right now. So let's do this. There's a Mist Wraith. Alright. I think I want to thermogenic beam. I mean, thermogenic beam is a very reliable resource that I may have to resort to for dealing for a potential Hecarim. So I think I have to just pass here. I have to pass here. His board state is full, which is really important. Very relevant. I think I'm actually going to lead off with the Chump Wump here. With Chump Wump, I can use my Rummage effectively. Let's see what happens here. Okay, no, we definitely want to deny that. No card draw for you, buddy. Ain't nobody got time for that. Alright, now what I could do... I could... Okay, so I suspect Rasa could come down. If Rasa comes down... is there anything I can do about it? Like, I can play this. I can play the Rummage now, but I miss out on value here. So if Rasa does go down, so be it. We're gonna play this, and we're going face. With you, with you, with you, and with you. Get a good hit off on him. Interesting.
It's Draven time.
I want to kill this Elise, but I also want to keep this. Let's just chill for now. All right, all right. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's go for the Rummage. Effective immediately, let's do it. Alright, I like that Mystic Shot there. We have a total of 3 fearsome attackers. We do have enough blockers. So we're gonna pass here. I don't think they want to attack right into this. Alright, 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 alright. I think I want a Mystic Shot. No, no, no. Let's... I think I want to just blow something back, right? No, no, no. No, let's be patient because we don't know what he has in his hand. We do not know what he has in his hand. Let's boogie. This... I don't want to attack with the Hex. I want to keep the T-Hex in the back. Pressure. Pressure, 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 and more pressure. We're only at 2 health, but 2 health is better than none. 2 health is better than none.
What's your hurry?
No, my hurry is not dying. I'm at 2 health at least. I think I want to end this game soon. Otherwise, you know, things are not gonna end well for me. I'm kind of surprised I'm alive because I dealt with a lot of powerful shit. But we living. We get an axe in there. What are my main concerns? Alright. I definitely expected something like that. That's the problem, like, I've ran into this guy like this morning, playing this deck, and it's so greedy. He has so much greed. Like, I think he's playing like 3 Rekindlers, which is insane. But if he gets the right curve, it's pretty ridiculous. I wanna play around a Glimpse Beyond at all times, right? Let's just pass here. Like, we're slowly but surely chipping at him. Right, I can't really play around that, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to deal with it. I'll just shoot this. Start attempting to create a path here. Not sure if this is correct, but if my opponent were to drop like a Hecarim, I do want to go for the Thermo Beam and get that out of there. I would also like to free up some space so I can drop my Scavenger and I can get the map to start hitting him with some powerful elusive plays, but at the same time I am kind of overwhelming him. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. We're in a bit of a stalemate right now, but because we are so low... Alright, let's just go in. Let's just go in. Let's force the trades. I think I'm going to drop the pickpocket here, because I am going to go for the spinning axe. I'm going to go for the spinning axe into a whirling death. I'm going to go into this. I'm going to drop you. I want to level up Draven. May seem like we're being impatient here, but we're trying to keep our T-Hex alive, and we're also trying to speed up the level up process from Draven, because if this goes through, then... Alright. That's fine. We still level up. We still managed to level up, which is huge. Draven! Now we got the overwhelm. Shadow approaches. There you are. We're gonna play the second floor be gone, and we're gonna blow this Hecarim back. Not even Mark of the Isles. Full blast, motherfucker! It's kind of a shame we can't play this, but it's fine. It's all good. Things to watch out for. Well, obviously, Ruination. But even if my opponent does play Ruination, I can bring out Chump Wump and Scavenger here. And I can proceed to just attempt to win the game with those. My opponent is fucked. Ladies and gentlemen, we go in. We go in. How long was this game? Jesus. Hey! Ah, there we go. Nice. Oh, hell yeah. Whew. Oh. All right, Chicho is our next opponent, and we're facing this archetype again. I'm gonna keep this in. Man, today's video is just I've been like looking for a lot of games because I want to showcase, you know, different matchups, right? But today is just Shadow Isles Day, man. So yeah, I guess this is the matchup that we, because I'm done searching, man. I'm done searching. Like, I'm just running into Shadow Isles decks back to back to back to back. People are not playing anything else. I could thermo this, but I'd rather just play the pickpocket. Use it as a blocker to this horror here. I definitely expect Chicho to attack here. Kind of sucks that we missed on the academic there. But next turn we can play Draven.
I have the
Best job.
Axes coming right up.
I could try to, or I could be aggressive with Draven, basically, and attempt to level up, but considering I have a rummage in my hand, I'd rather rack up the axes. and basically enable the card draw here. I think I can surprise my opponent with this astute academic.
Don't worry, I've read all about this.
I can go for you. As we find the Whirling Death. Can enable you here.
With your name on it.
Mark of the Owls is something that can play around this. Maybe I should have blocked differently, honestly, because yeah, this block doesn't make much sense because if he has a Mystic Shot, then he gets to keep the 4/3, which is, you know, the higher statted creature right now. So I should have blocked this with Draven and this with the Academic, but I am gonna go for the Whirling Death here. Mark of the Owls can, you know, kind of nullify this. Yeah.
Come out and play.
It's fine though. This is not super bad by any means. As we get double axe again, which enables us to rummage once more. I believe we go Draven again here, because turn 6 is where we have to worry about Hecarim, which is why we want to preserve Thermogenic Beam for that. All right, he doesn't get that there, which is neat.
Let's do this.
We're gonna go ahead and attack here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, if next turn they play Hecarim, we want to be able to charge this and not lose any value. So yeah, let's attack with you.
Watch and learn.
Let's do this first. That's neat.
God axes need victims.
Let's attack again. Let's pack the axes once more for the rummage. Again, we're gearing ourselves for a Hecarim here, so if that's the case, then approach. We can do this.
Pony want a carrot?
We can rummage these 2 axes away. Because this is burst speed, we will not be giving away initiative. And then we can blast Hecarim here. Mark of the Owls being the only thing that stops it. He's already played 1, so the odds of him having a second one in the top 10 cards of his deck are very unlikely. Especially considering, you know, unless he plays 3 copies of it, but I would expect 2 Mark of the Isles. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. I was like, really? Alright. Alright. We still get rid of Hecarim, which is fantastic. If he dares attack here, then I will trade. I guess we trade.
This is gonna hurt for you. My beautiful face.
Right now we're on equal health. We have a significant card advantage over the opponent, but our opponent does have board advantage, so we need to do things right here. What I'm gonna do now is Scavenger. We're gonna Scavenger, and then we're gonna attempt to map to start dealing some damage. I could go for the Flash of Brilliance, but I could eventually draw into Heimerdinger, and like I don't know what specific card is worth it here anyways.
You're gonna need a map.
I mean, what this does... Okay, let's see.
We don't have much, but it's enough.
Okay.
This is my home.
We're gonna aim to double block here. I really want to mitigate this damage.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to play into a Rasa. Alright, we don't have to worry about a Rasa now. We're going to play Plaza Guardian. And we're going to try to kill him with Jay. We're going to try to go for Jay Medarda lethal.
What I find, I keep. Treasure. Glory. Discover the unknown.
Hey! Jay, my boy. And that brilliance pull as well. Oh my god. That he must be pissed about that. We snuck under it, but to be fair, like, that's what this deck does, right? Like, the way this deck functions is we control the early game, we try to apply pressure, build up our hand with a bunch of cheap spells, and then set up some powerful elusives through Scavenger or Jay himself to finish off our opponents. And the fact that we pulled that +4 attack, though, that was, oh my god. I was like, you know, unless he's playing Vengeance or any sort of health gain, like, this actually wins the match. Oh man. Alright, so yeah guys, I spent a lot of time recording, trying to find, you know, diverse matchups to showcase for you guys today, but I literally faced like 99% Shadow Isles, so yeah. And the non-Shadow Isles games are not really good at all. They were over super quickly, so I don't know. I feel like it'll just be this deck versus Shadow Isles for today's video. I think I got some good matches though today, some really tight games, and I guess that Shadow Isles Piltover and Zon deck is really gaining popularity. I think maybe people are trying to, you know, abuse Progress Day with Shadow Isles, which just feels really dirty because they're taking my beloved faction and they're just they're splashing it onto that busted ass region. Oh my god. It's just so strong. Their cards are so good. Rasa, like everything. It's fun to play against, but it can be tilting, man. It can be tilting when they curve out perfectly and they just have tremendous value back to back. And even Mark of the Owls is a really crazy card. Yeah, sorry for the glittering sound there. Hopefully you guys enjoy the games, though. Shoutouts to Brains and Bronze, Heimerdinger, and Draven. Today's video, I think, really showcased the power of Draven in this deck, because Heimerdinger is a given. Heimerdinger is fantastic, but Draven really did shine today, which I'm very happy about. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the game. Subscribe for daily Legends of Runeterra content. I try to put out the best decks and the original decks as well, not just the top-tier meta stuff. I want to give you guys cool deck ideas to build around. And this is just the beginning, man. We're going to keep coming at it with different decks every day and trying to come out with new, interesting strategies and just enjoying the hell out of this amazing game, man. It's a core set. Like, this is a core set, and we already have so many different strategies. Yeah, you can argue that Shadow Isles is pretty strong, and Elusives are also very, very powerful, but there's other decks that can take them on, and I personally am a sucker for Piltover and Zon. I just love the region. I love the decks built around it. May it be Heimerdinger, Easy, or upcoming Teemo decks, which I will be working on as well, as I'm going to be crafting him on Tuesday. And I'm just very excited for what's to come, man. I love recording this game. I love playing this game, and I can't get enough of it. And it makes me so happy to be able to cover this game on my channel. So yeah, I'm going to stop talking. Thank you for watching. Have a soul day. Hope you enjoyed the matches. I'll see you tomorrow.